The grand mansion of Ethan Montgomery was filled with silence, the kind that echoed pain more than peace. Ethan, a billionaire businessman, had built an empire from nothing, but there was one thing his wealth could never buy: his daughter's health. Little Emily, just 7 years old, had been sick since the day she was born. Doctors from every corner of the world came and went, prescribing medicines, performing tests, whispering about rare genetic conditions, but nothing ever changed. She was always pale, weak, and fragile, her small body wrapped in soft blankets while her father watched helplessly, his heart breaking a little more each day. Emily was the only thing left after his wife, Claire, passed away during childbirth. She was his entire world, and yet, no matter how much money he spent, no matter how many experts he hired, nothing could make her smile, walk, or even play like a normal child. The mansion that once echoed with love now stood like a cold fortress. Every day was the same: doctors in white coats, nurses moving silently through the halls, and Ethan sitting beside his daughter's bed with tired eyes. Then one day, when all hope seemed lost, a knock came at the servants' entrance. It was a young woman, soaked from the rain, her clothes worn, her eyes tired but kind. Her name was Lily. She had applied for the position of a nanny through an agency that Ethan barely remembered contacting. "You've worked with children before?" the head butler asked skeptically, looking her up and down. Lily nodded softly. "Yes, sir. Not in mansions like this, but children are children everywhere." Her gentle voice carried something unusual: sincerity. The butler hesitated, but when Ethan came downstairs and saw her, something about her calm presence made him stop. "You're late," he said bluntly, glancing at her drenched clothes. "I know, sir," she said, lowering her gaze. "The bus broke down, and I had to walk the last few miles." Ethan sighed. He didn't care anymore. Nothing mattered as long as his daughter kept suffering. "Fine. You'll assist the nurse and take care of Emily's basic needs. Don't bother me unless it's important." Lily bowed her head and whispered, "Yes, sir." "Thank you." That night, when Lily entered Emily's room, she froze for a moment. The little girl was lying on a huge bed, her skin pale as snow, her eyes half open, and an oxygen tube rested beside her bed. The air smelled of antiseptic and loneliness. Lily quietly sat on a small chair near the bed and whispered, "Hi, sweetheart, my name's Lily." Emily didn't answer, didn't even blink. But Lily noticed something, a tiny tear that rolled from the corner of her eye. "You can hear me, can't you?" Lily said softly. "That's okay. You don't have to talk. I'll just sit here with you for a while." And that's how it began. For the first few days, Lily didn't try to change anything. She just watched. The doctors came and went. The nurse gave injections and recorded Emily's pulse. Ethan peeked in sometimes but never stayed long. But Lily stayed. Every night she would hum lullabies, sometimes talk to Emily about the outside world, about the smell of rain, the warmth of sunshine, the laughter of street children she used to take care of in her old neighborhood. And one evening, while she was gently brushing Emily's hair, something incredible happened. Emily's lips moved, barely whispering a word. "Rain." Lily froze, her heart skipping a beat. "Yes, sweetheart," she said tearfully, "rain." "You like the rain?" Emily's eyes blinked slowly, as if fighting a battle to stay awake, and she whispered again, "Can I see it?" Lily looked toward the huge windows, closed and covered by heavy curtains. "Not yet," she said, "but soon. I promise." The next morning, Lily went to Ethan's office. He was buried in paperwork, barely looking up. "Mr. Montgomery," she said softly, "Emily wants to see the rain." Ethan frowned. "Impossible. The doctor said she shouldn't be exposed to cold air. She's too weak." "I know," Lily said, "but she hasn't smiled in years." "She's not living, sir. She's only surviving. Maybe she needs more than medicine." Ethan slammed his pen down. "And what do you know about medicine? You're a nanny, not a doctor." Lily stood firm. "I know that no medicine works if the heart has given up. Let her see the world again, sir. Please." Ethan stared at her, torn between logic and hope. Something about her conviction shook him. He finally muttered, "Fine. But if anything happens to her, you'll never step foot in this house again." Lily smiled gratefully. That afternoon, she wrapped Emily in a blanket, carried her to the glass door, and opened it slightly. Soft raindrops fell outside, tapping gently on the stone patio. Emily's eyes widened for the first time, her tiny hand reaching out to feel a drop fall on her palm. "It's cold," she whispered. "That's the rain, sweetheart," Lily smiled. "It's life." Tears filled Ethan's eyes as he watched from behind, realizing this was the first time he'd seen his daughter smile in years. From that day on, Emily began to change. Lily introduced little moments of joy, sunlight in the morning, stories at night, painting sessions, and laughter. Slowly, Emily started responding. Her color returned, her energy grew, and soon, she could sit up without help. The doctors were astonished, saying they'd never seen such progress. But Ethan knew deep down it wasn't the medicine. It was love. One night, as Emily slept peacefully, Ethan approached Lily in the hallway. "What are you doing that's making her better?" he asked. Lily smiled faintly. "I'm just reminding her what it feels like to be alive." But fate wasn't done testing them yet. A week later, Emily suddenly fell unconscious. The house erupted in panic. The doctor declared her condition critical. Ethan's world shattered all over again. Lily refused to give up. She spent the whole night praying, holding Emily's hand, whispering stories about angels and hope. And then, something unexplainable happened. Emily's heartbeat, which had been faint, began to stabilize. She opened her eyes, looked at Lily, and whispered, "You came back for me." Ethan stood in disbelief. "How?" he asked, trembling. Lily looked at him with tears in her eyes and said, "Sometimes love heals what medicine can't." That night, Ethan sat in his study, staring at an old photograph of his late wife. He realized the poor Nanny had done what billions couldn't. She'd brought his daughter back to life. But who was Lily, really? And how did she know so much about Emily's fears and dreams? The answers were hidden in a past Ethan never knew existed.